Hey everyone, welcome back to Bros and Shows. I am your host Josiah, aka Mahler67, and with me, as always, you know I got my buddy, I got my pal, I got my brother Austin. Austin, how you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How about everyone out there in Twitch land and you? How are you?
Which land and me? I'm doing okay. For everyone who is not didn't pay attention or whatnot, we took the last 2 weeks off. We had some things we had to deal with. So with that out of the way, I just wanted to say we're back. We're continuing.
Yes.
But yeah, that's we just had to deal with a couple things for the last 2 weeks, so we got that taken care of.
Yes, I was very sick.
Austin was sick, and then we had something else.
We had a family pass away.
Yep.
So we had to deal with all that. So
yeah, that was that's it. That was life. So we had basically 2.5 weeks to watch Cuphead. I didn't finish it the Wednesday we were supposed to, because like that's whenever you messaged me like I'm too sick, I can't do it. I'm like, okay, I'm not going to finish this. I'm going to wait until the show to finish it, because I like to finish the show the day of.
Oh yeah.
And so like today I was like, oh, I should finish Cuphead. Realized, oh, I had only one episode left. I guess I'll just watch the last episode.
There you go.
I thought I had more than that, but no, I watched everything except for the last episode. I thought there was 13 episodes. There's only 11. And so I was like, oh dang, I thought I had like 2 more episodes, but I guess not. But yeah. Austin, you been doing anything this week? Anything cool, anything fun, anything interesting?
Just working most of the time. Like I went to this weekend. You know, you were back until Friday, and then you left Friday. But then Saturday, a buddy of ours from Pittsburgh came to Ohio, so I got to like show him around some parts of Columbus because he wanted to go to Columbus, and I was like, yeah, that's fine. And went to Otherworld, which is like a really weird museum. It's a lot of fun. Like I've been there before with my wife, and then he was like, hey, let's go. I was like, okay.
Alright. I've seen it once. I don't need to see it again, but
yeah. It's one of those things where like I could see it once and that's it. And then
have you ever been to the Andy Warhol Museum here in Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Have you been back recently?
No, I have not. I've been there for like a couple years now.
Both that one and the Mattress Factory are one of the places that changes their thing constantly.
Oh.
And so they're what's in it changes. Not like all exhibits, but like certain ones.
Oh,
and so you can very much like go to it multiple times. It's like the conservatory we went to.
Oh,
the
okay.
Conservatory, whatever the heck that's called.
Brick Park.
Brick Conservatory. I guess it is conservatory. It is the conservatory. I'm thinking arboretum is the word I thought it was. No, arboretum is something else.
Or not conservatory.
Observatory. That's the term. I'm an idiot. But yeah, it's like that where they change things constantly, but there's certain exhibits that don't change.
Well, Mom called it the reformatory, so you know.
Yeah, she did. If we had Pittsburgh Reformatory, man,
oh yeah,
we would have troubles. Just like how we have troubles in Ohio with the Mansfield version of it and Shawshank Redemption. As they go. But no, awesome. That's cool. You've been enjoying the new Fallout Magic cards that came out?
I only purchased one deck. Booster packs are a little. I really hate Hasbro for this because it's just they know what sells a little bit and they'll upprice it. Like a collector's booster is $37 just for a booster, but the commander for cards, and the commander, I bought one commander. I bought the dog meat commander. Which, because that was the only one next to Mothman, is probably one I want to pick up. But I'll probably build Mothman myself, but I'm gonna wait until prices fluctuate, because that's exactly usually what happens. Is like after 2 weeks it just tanks all the prices for those cards.
Yeah.
So I just wait and then I buy them singles from like a store or something, like a local store. So yeah, I've seen like some, I would love to see alternate arts of Mothman. That would be kind of cool. I've seen like people do proxies of them, and I'm like, wow, this looks really cool. It's like, like old school, like 50s, like sci-fi covers and stuff. I was like, that's pretty sweet. I'd love to have a card like that, because I have some Magic the Gathering does like secret layers, and they do like they do these secret layers of like old cards, like the Liliana the Vest and like Blasphemous Act. They have like these old style like sci-fi horror from like the 60s and 70s, so it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I haven't really been into it too much. My playgroup hasn't played in a while actually, and we're not going to be playing this week either, because my buddy Andrew got sick and he's got to work. Yeah, everyone's been getting the same thing. I haven't been around him.
Don't lie.
But
don't
no,
lie. You say as you're clearing your throat.
Yeah, it's weird. Like everything's gone except for that. Like I feel like I'm nasally a little bit, and I cough a little bit, but that's it. Like nothing too much. As I put a lotion in my mouth, but
you could have lied and said it was a chip or what's it called? Jolly Rancher. I would believe you. I didn't catch that.
Jolly Rancher is not believable in my
Jolly
situation.
Rancher.
What? No. So yeah, he's actually wanting to come over Saturday and see you, and see, just like hang out for a little bit. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. Because I haven't seen him in a while.
That would be great.
Oh no, he's not sick now, but he's got to work overtime. So we usually do game nights on Fridays, and Thursday and Friday he has to work now. Those are usually his days off, but now he has to work because he called off the last couple days because he was sick. But now he said he feels so much better and he's like ready to go back to work. I was like, good. So yeah, but yeah, it's been kind of that way. I haven't really been doing too much. I've been, like one of the people that passed away in our lives, like they left me a bunch of like tapes, like these little tapes, and I'm digitizing all these tapes for our family. And I've gotten through she had like 40 tapes. I've gotten through 22 of them. So I am pretty close. Yeah, like I'm getting there. And there is some ones that are really, really funny. Like, we were talking about some of the cringe stuff. And I've watched that. And it's pretty cringe.
I saw the date of 2022, I think. No, 23. Whatever the year we did the outdoor wrestling.
2003. Yeah, 2003.
I was like, man, I was 11. No, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I was 11 years old during that. The cringe was peak at that age. I was the Great Saiyan from Dragon Ball Z.
Yep.
But I didn't get to watch much of Dragon Ball Z, so
yeah,
I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah. No, it's kind of fun, like to go back and watch memories of stuff and like see people that I haven't seen in a long time because they're not here anymore, and it's funny because most of the reunions that she's done is just she puts the camera on the tripod and then she just lets it roll. She doesn't do anything.
Off.
Yep, that's exactly what she does, and it's a lot of fun. It makes me laugh, and I got to see some really funny memories through all these videos that I've been digitizing, and found out that VCRs are going for a lot of money right now. So, kind of ridiculous. So if you have a VCR, you should sell it completely on eBay. Usually they're going for like $100 to $200, and that's ridiculous. But overall,
that's a lot. That's a crazy amount.
Yeah, right now on Amazon, they're about $250, $300, and that's ridiculous. But yeah, it's pretty interesting, like going back and watching all these tapes and stuff like that. And I haven't really got around to playing any video games in a while because I've been like sick or I'm trying to do stuff. Like we just mounted our TV today in our living room because we wanted to have a little bit more space. So like I had to get a buddy to help me.
Get rid of the little stand thing it sits on.
Yeah, we're just gonna go with like a corner stand, and then like everything else is at eye level, so it's actually kind of nice. It got rid of a lot of stuff, and we're gonna have a lot of space in the living
Did you
room now.
guys get did you guys mount it in the corner?
Yeah, we
okay,
mounted it
good.
right in the corner, and it's like not too far up.
Yeah.
I had my buddy Ryan help me with it because, like, of course he has like
He
good eye
knows
for
all
that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, let's just do this and do it this way, and it would be so much easier, and then you won't have to go like this the whole time. He's like, you don't want to have a mounted TV that's like that. And I was like, yeah, I agree. If it was up to me, I would say, hey, let's just do the projector, because I'd be down for that projector thing. But my wife is like, I don't like the projector.
I like projectors. My only personal issue when it comes to projectors is that the coloration in projectors tend to be off. Only one thing really, like if you have a really good projector, only one element is really off, and that's the whites, right? Because the whites are either too bright or too dark. And if you're like putting it on something like a white background, if you're in like a bright environment, or the show is in a bright environment, you're not really catching all the details stuff. I'm running into that issue. I actually I have a projector up in my room, about this, where it streams onto the ceiling, so that way whenever I go to sleep or whenever I lay down, I can just watch something in my bed and just enjoy it, and I like it. I hooked up my Steam link to it, so that way I can play my games from my bed if I want to like lay down and play, so I don't have to always be on my computer.
Yeah.
And it works very well. I've been playing Final Fantasy 12 because I bought the game. I haven't ever played it or beat it. I have never really focused on it. I didn't like the story when I initially played it. I'm giving it a better chance now. And a lot of the area is like in a desert area. It's blinding sometimes. I just can't tell details half the time.
Yeah.
And like I don't have the most high-end projector, but it's like decent enough that you can easily tell things naturally. What can you do, man? Like, what can you do? It's not something that crazy. I mean, it works perfectly fine for like TV shows and everything, like Cuphead and everything of that. Like, I had no issue whatsoever when it comes to that. But also, speaking of Cuphead, let's go ahead and dig into the milk-filled cups.
Milk-filled cups.
It's milk. It has to be milk because it's white. I don't want to think of what else it could be. Austin, what did you think of Cuphead season 3? This is the final season. On Netflix. To my understanding, I Google searched it. I'm like, hey, is there going to be a Cuphead season 4? And it's like, no, it's the finale was season 3. It didn't get renewed after that. So, Austin, what did you think of season 3 of Cuphead?
I like it better than most of the most of the seasons.
Okay.
I think like it started falling into itself. Like I think season 2 starts bringing out like a lot of characteristics and a lot of character work through Cuphead and Mugman. And I think season 3 is my favorite out of all of them so far. I did enjoy a lot of the episodes this season. I know that like it's not perfect. It's not like the best thing I've watched in a long time, but it's one of those shows where like I didn't even know season 3 came out.
Yeah.
Actually. Because what happened was I remember watching Cuphead when it first came out, like the Cuphead show. And I didn't really like I watched season 1 and then season 2 came out and then I was like, oh, okay, it's just season 2. And then season 3 came out and I forgot all about it. Like I just didn't watch season 3 for a while. And then all of a sudden I logged into Netflix one day and it was like new episodes of Cuphead. And I was like, oh, cool. And I didn't watch it for 2 more months. But the thing is this season's a little different though. They start doing like they did like 2 Christmas specials, which is kind of weird.
They did.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is this a Christmas special?
Yeah.
Why did they put a Christmas special? Why is the Christmas special focused around the devil of all people?
Yeah, it was interesting. The whole the whole devil and the Santa Claus thing, I thought was really goofy.
I mean, okay, if I'm going to say my only criticalness of this, like I think it was a fine show. I enjoyed it. I liked it. Definitely for kids. I 100% acknowledge that. Like their audience was kids. Yeah. My biggest issue with this season and a little bit last season as well, the devil was a comic relief character. Yeah. And was just completely incompetent. And it kind of got annoying because like he was like there was a point where you no longer like was fearful of the devil. It's more of like you're kind of wanting him to win something because gosh dang did he like fail all the time, and he's all like, I'm the devil, I'm so smart, ooh. And then it's like I'm getting tricked out of Chalice's deal by playing rock paper scissors or dancing, and it's like, why? I was watching the last episode, and this is why I bring up, because this is the episode I watched, the most recent. Freaking, why would the devil ever make that deal against Chalice? Because of his greed and hubris? That's all it was. Because she literally says, I got nothing, like I can't win. He could literally be like, your soul's mine, so I'm just going to make you do this contest, even if you want to or not, and then afterwards I'll kill you, just to show you that I am the best dancer. But instead he takes a bet, but he doesn't win nothing in the bet. It's just if he loses, he loses. And I'm like, that's not how bets work. You can make a bet like that, but you are the most stupidest person in the world if you take that bet. At least when it came to like Cuphead and Mugman's like bet to him about like the rock paper scissors thing, that there was a win-loss for each side. If he lost, Chalice is fine. If he wins, he gets Cuphead and Mugman's soul. Like that makes sense for him to make that bet, even though it's a stupid premise of a rock paper scissors deal. But the original Chalice deal made no sense to me, and I got really frustrated with that. They could have just handled that differently.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, everything was fine. It was just the devil was the most pathetic character, and there was a point where I'm just like, he needs to win midway through this season or something, because he cannot, and he never does. He just doesn't. He just consistently fails on multiple levels. I'm like, this guy was supposed to be the big bad evil guy of the games, right? They did him dirty in this show. Yeah, they did. He's an idiot in this show, and I felt bad watching it. I also don't know if they did Cutman and Mugman dirty with how they treated their character, but I mean, they were a lot better than him. Like you watch and you're like, he's like I'm trying. Oh, you know what he reminds me of? You remember Grandma's Boy? Okay. The movie Grandma's Boy. He's the coder in the JP thing. JP, yeah. How he starts like sniffling and like crying all over the place, and he like thinks he's all smart and like trying to get away with things, and nothing ever works out, and so he just cries again. Like the episode where he's crying in front of the main character and he's just not just drooling. That's why I thought of the devil the whole time this season. I'm like, you're pathetic. But yeah,
my favorite.
Go on.
But my favorite episode this season actually has to be the special delivery episode.
Okay.
Where, you know, Chalice and Mug and them are trying to deliver this mysterious package to
the ticking shoes, I think it was.
Yeah, it was the shoes. And he's like, these are just shoes. And then it's like, yeah, but if he puts them on, they're gonna be a bomb. And I thought that was a very creative episode. There's like, that episode stuck out the most for me, next to like the Santa Claus and the devil episode, just because it was so weird. I'm like, oh, okay.
You know what my one issue with that episode is?
Oh, what's that?
They flipped the script on Mugman and Cuphead, and I didn't like it. So normally it's Cuphead being a piece of trash and Mugman being like the center of attention, or like the center of the person of reason. They flip it, and instead Mugman like playing a character and ruining everything. And I'm like, this just is so out of character for Mugman that it's kind of frustrating to watch. And I kind of felt bad. Also, I do like the fact that by the end of the season, I was 100% on Chalice's side, calling them like idiots and nincompoops. Because I'm like, yeah, no, she's at least smart when it comes to stuff. At first, I thought she was just conniving and like selfish, but it's like, no, these guys are actually idiots. In fact, 80% of the cast in the show is idiots. Even Dice, King Dice is kind of a dingus.
Yeah, he is.
But like, he at least is able to get back going once he's given the right options. It's weird to me. It's a funny yeah, the show did weird things in my brain because the main antagonist, I didn't think they would make the main antagonist so pathetic. But hey, what can you do?
Yeah. So what did you think of the ending of the season?
So here's my thing. I instantly looked up if there was going to be another season because it ends with Cupman running to a casino that he sees. And my only knowledge of Cuphead comes within the first, I would say, 10 minutes of gameplay because I never got past that far. But I know the original story is that Cupman loses his soul in a casino to the devil, if I remember correctly. So when I saw that, my brain instantly went, oh, did they just connect the games to this? Like, this is a prequel to the games. Like, I was kind of hoping they would. And I looked online, there's a lot of people who kind of like, yeah, you can put it together. It's definitely a different universe than anything because Cupman and Mugman apparently never meet Chalice until the DLCs, which comes later.
Yeah.
But they're like, theoretically, this could be an alternate universe where all this happens and then Cuphead loses his soul. And I was like, I like the idea because I think I mentioned this in our other episode of Cuphead where I'm like, I like the idea of having a series that has connecting mediums. Like I mentioned .hack and how the original .hack sign was a prequel to the .hack games. And so like if you watch the anime and then play the games, there's characters from the anime that are in the games, and then the last episode of the anime is like a time jump where you see the characters from the games interact with the people from the show. And I've personally, like, I love it when they do that, and I would like it if more mediums did that. Like, no offense to them, but the Halo series sucks and they ruined Master Chief as a character. But if they would have made him one-to-one to the actual Chief and like how he did everything, and then made this series actually take place before like the fall of Reach or something like that, and got writers from, thanks Molly, writers from the game to help like make everything canonically and fit, I would love that if that was the truth. But it's not. Like, more series and more games should do it. I would be all for it, but what can you do?
Yeah. But yeah, overall, it, you know, I enjoy it, and I think that there's not going to be another season, just because I don't think how it ends, unless they do like because it probably just leads into the game. I think that you're right on that.
It looks like that's what they were trying to do, and I think even though the world doesn't match 1-to-1, it would be enough for, I think, a kid to first begin, right? To see that and being like, I want to play the Cuphead game now. Like, that's where it continues. Even though the presence for the theme for the Cuphead game is a lot darker than the show ever showed. With Cuphead going around collecting souls. Oh yeah, quick thing we have to acknowledge. The voice of the siren is Nausea.
Yeah.
And I specifically want to pull that out because guess who's going to be in another series about games soon?
Oh, is it Nausea again?
No.
Hmm.
Have you seen the trailer for Fallout?
I have not actually.
I will say this: watch it. I want your honest opinion from watching it, and then you'll know who I'm talking about whenever you watch it. I personally am actually kind of excited for it. I also will say I'm not a diehard Fallout person, so like small little individual things will not hurt me. But the biggest thing that I said is that I don't want the show to be in any of the places that the games are and make it its own story, but have like connections to the world. Kind of like how like basically make a new Fallout game, but make it TV only.
Yeah, and or like a DLC in a way.
That's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah.
And there's a person who is voicing a character in it, and I'm like, yeah. And I mentioned the Siren today on Discord about how she's in Cuphead and in What We Do in the Shower as Nausea. And I don't know. I thought about that. And I'm like, oh, I do have to say this real quickly for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I liked it. I liked it a lot. Yeah. Definitely wouldn't mind watching it if like my kids wanted to watch it. Like you said, it's not like the most best thing in the world, but it's definitely not bad. Like it's not bad.
Yeah.
I'm glad I watched it. It would be a great thing to like show like a gamer kid, like a kid who's like, I like games, but like I don't want to watch like anything. It's like, cool. Let's watch the show together and then we'll play Cuphead together. How about that, buddy?
Yeah.
Like that would be a fantastic thing to like bridge two different like times. Like, hey, let's play some Cuphead, and then before we go to bed, we'll watch a couple episodes and then call it.
Yeah. I think that would work in that realm. There's a lot of like shows and stuff that's like that where it gets them into like watching the original format or like like something that we're gonna talk about later. And the thing is and that's good. I'm cool with how Cuphead like approached it. It could have been completely serious and done like the whole Cuphead going after all the souls and stuff like that, but they kind of like made him silly, and then to a point where it's like, oh, okay, this leads up to what the game was trying to be. So then it also promotes the game in a way, so like kids will play the game, but then they'll realize how ridiculously hard that game can be and unforgiving. But
I remember playing it and instantly thinking to myself like, man, am I this bad or is this game just hard? And I don't remember why I settled on. I think I was just kind of settled on, I must be bad because other people can play this game no issue. I'm over here getting very frustrated that my pews do no damage. And I'm just sitting here for like 20 minutes at a boss that I'm like, I'm not hurting you. This is just a timer to see if I can do the mechanics correctly.
Yeah.
But that's my gripe with it, right? But I have nowhere to talk. I play freaking Final Fantasy 14, which is just that too. So I acknowledge that. 14 is the MMO version of Cuphead. I feel who I am. All it is, like, every boss in that game is like, no. You don't do a lot of damage to me. Like, there is damage, like, the higher damage, you'll go through things quicker. But when content is released in that game, it is, we have a dance. I will dance. You must follow and dance with me. If you fail to dance with me, you don't beat me. And then years down the road, or like months down the road, when you get better armor, then it becomes, hey, you have to still dance with me, but if you hit me hard enough, you don't have to dance as much. No different from Cuphead. And Cuphead is just like, dance with me and hit me. You're not doing enough damage to make this go faster. You just gotta do damage and dance with me long enough till I die. And that's just a...
Yeah, it's not a forgiving game at all. It's one of those games where it's just not forgiving. But yeah. But overall, I'm glad that you liked it. You know, it's not really the longest thing, and we don't really, have to talk too much more about it. I like, it was a show that I'd grown to like just because it was like a really nice little animated show,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a fun little watch. That's all reason why I picked it.
It was a fun watch, and I accept that, and I like that. I appreciate you putting this out there.
Yeah.
Also, it's also like a level like I play a lot of video games, you play a lot of video games. When people hear like, oh, you play video games, and they see something as video game adjacent, they'll ask me if I've ever seen something. This was a show people have asked me, have you ever seen the Cuphead show? And I have to explain to them that I don't play Cuphead, nor do I watch the show. Now I can at least say I've watched the show. I still don't play Cuphead, but the show's pretty good.
Yeah,
it was great to watch with you.
Yeah, and it's a lot of cool stuff that like there's another animated show I'd like to do, and it's only one season so far, and it's like 6 episodes, and it leads up to a show that we've done before, but I forgot all about it being animated.
Oh, Legend of Korra?
Oh no! I've already watched Legend of Korra, because after we watched Avatar, that's what I did.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I actually went through it.
I haven't finished watching Avatar: Legend of Korra. Fun fact.
Oh, really?
That came out when I was in college, and they went from showing it in TV to online.
Oh, okay.
And I watched the first season, and then halfway through the second season, I fell off because I just wasn't as interested in the show.
Well, I think also too is that show, I think has to be binged. Like it.
I mean, we can watch it sometime, and then I can sit here and remember why I did or didn't like the show, like at some point.
Yeah, I watched it.
You know what's coming.
Yeah, when Paramount first came out, like the streaming channel, I actually bought Paramount because it was like they had a promotion where it was like 99 cents for a year.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember you telling me that.
I did that, and then I liked it, but Paramount's the only one that I've ever kept really. Like, because Paramount has like a deal now where it's like for $12.99 you can get Showtime and Paramount without ads, and I'm like, that's not bad. But like, what do I watch on Paramount? It's not me who watches all the Paramount. It's her, because SpongeBob is on there. And she watches SpongeBob almost like every night. She watches like 4 or 5 episodes before she goes to bed. And then,
how old is
Avatar.
Your wife? How old is your wife?
She's 32.
Like 32?
Or no, she's 31.
Okay, so yeah. she's 1 year younger than me. Well, regardless, no offense to her or anyone else who loves SpongeBob, because I know a lot of people do love SpongeBob, and I understand that. It's a special human being who can watch SpongeBob go to sleep at night.
Well,
and it's
I think it's more of a nostalgia thing.
Oh, no, that's 100% what it is. That's why I'm saying it's a special individual. Because I watched SpongeBob growing up. Now that I am older, I can remember episodes and find them funny and think funny things about them. I do not want to rewatch the show. Ollie heard you make that sound somehow. I have headphones on. She cannot hear. The second you did that, she started looking around crazily at me. So,
yeah. No,
distracted now. She can't hear.
Yeah, so she watches it more than I do, but Avatar was on there.
Yeah.
All of Nickelodeon's on there. So like I was like, oh well, I'll just watch this stuff. And there's like a lot of cool classic stuff that like me and her watch, like Rugrats and stuff like that, and Hey Arnold. But there's a show that I've been wanting to talk about for a while because we watched the show before, and the newest season's coming out here soon of that show, and there's an animated series of it, and it's only like a week old. It's only like 6 episodes, so like maybe after this we could do it. Because
is it The Boys?
Yeah, the Diabolical. It's like a 6 episode, 10-minute episodes, and they're all like episodic episodes.
Yeah.
And they're goofy. But I was like, hey, we should watch that before The Boys. And I know that we didn't do Gen V. That was the side show that came out. That was for The Boys. Okay. We didn't do that. And then, like, of course, because right now we have The Boys are coming out again here soon. There's a new season. Right now, Shogun is going on. We've been talking about doing Shogun. There's also, what's the other thing that I was gonna say? There's one other show that's coming out right now.
Oh, coming out. There's a couple actually that are coming out.
Oh, Invincible Part 2.
Part 2, Invincible.
Yeah. Of season 3, or season 2.
There's another show coming out. Oh wait, is it the Fallout one coming out in May? I had to see.
Fallout comes out in May, and then there's one other show that's supposed to come out next week that I forget that's coming out. And I'm like, oh, it's coming out next week. Cool. Yay.
We have a lot of shows like that.
Yeah.
It's like they always need money, and so it'll never stop distracting us from other things.
Everything's. But yeah, no. And then, of course, we got this week coming up. So we're doing
this week.
Yeah.
Awesome. I know we kind of just wrapped it up on its own by talking about other things, but that was Cuphead. Do you have any last things to say about Cuphead? Are you good?
No, I loved Cuphead, so I enjoyed it. It was a little fun watch, like I said. So
it was a fun watch. I enjoyed it. I liked it too.
Yeah.
Next week we're watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Netflix version, the Netflix adaptation. Depending on who you are, you have already either watched it, going to watch it, or despise it or love it. I don't know. I have avoided a lot of spoilers. There's only one thing I got spoiled on, which we'll talk about next week. Do it. But yeah, we'll be watching that. The Netflix adaptation.
What's really funny about this is I was actually, my Titan was down yesterday. And
your Titan was down yesterday?
Yeah, my buddy Paul, what we call him Titan.
Okay.
We were going through like catalogs, and this show popped up like on the thing, and he was like, why do you have that on there? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, why do you have that? You told me you hated that. And I was like, well, what I've been told is it's not good. And he was like, oh, wait, you haven't watched it? And I was like, no, I've never watched it. And he was like, you told me not to watch it before. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. He was like, isn't that M. Night Shyamalan? And I was like, oh, no. There was a live action movie. This is a TV series that Netflix put out. And he's like, oh, okay. He's like, is it good? And I was like, I don't know. I've heard like one of my friends, Travis, has told me some things about how he feels about it, and like and then I've heard other people talk about it, but I haven't been spoiled with anything.
I've been spoiled with certain things. One character I got spoiled on because I saw a video on TikTok, and it was a guy I like, so I started listening to it, and then I realized halfway through, oh, this is spoiling this, but I'm okay with this being spoiled because then I won't be filled with rage when I watch that episode. So
I didn't get spoiled, but I did watch something that involved it, and it was Honest Trailers did an Honest Trailers for
this
the show.
Oh, okay. No, I haven't seen that.
They did one on that, and then they did one on they did an Honest Game trailer on Helldivers 2. So I was watching that, and then it switched over to that, and I was like, oh yeah.
Just kind of, I get that.
Yeah, I was like, oh wait, I'm not supposed to be watching this.
Oh wait, oh no. Now, I mean, what's going to happen? You're going to get the story spoiled for you.
Ooh.
The only thing that's spoiled for you is the changes they make. That's the only thing we're going to get spoiled by. And if they make changes that we don't like, all you're doing is learning, hey, I'm going to be miserable when watching this.
Well, the only complaint that I've heard that's like not a spoiler complaint is just too much is in season 1. They said that like they rushed a lot, and I was like, oh man, I don't like to hear that.
Only like what, 9 episodes or 8 episodes or something like that?
8 episodes, yeah.
Yeah, it's 8 episodes, and the original like Nickelodeon show was like,
dude, and now I'm starting to get used to like doing these 15 to 30 minute episodes with you because you like those, and now I have to go back to an hour episode.
I know, right? It sucks.
It does suck. And what really sucks.
Why do shows have to do this?
I don't know.
I agree. I agree.
But there is a show that I'm gonna make you watch, and I think those are our episodes. I don't remember. I'm sorry, but it's a good show.
That's fine.
And it's a Netflix show, but Netflix, for some odd reason, always has to do like hour episodes for some freaking odd reason. Or, oh wait, no, these are only half an hour episodes. Oh, you lucked out. Half an hour
That's the
episodes
good stuff right there.
Half an hour episodes are fine. You know, when you start getting a territory of like, you know, 45 to 50-minute episodes, I'm like, ugh.
I am fine with 45 to 50-minute episodes if there's only 5 to 8 episodes of it. The second they try to push it to like 13 episodes or so, I kind of start checking out, which is funny because if you would have asked me that back when Game of Thrones was airing, I was like, no, hour-long episodes, make it more episodes. And I realized it's not because I wanted more episodes. I wanted more story to be told, and there was a lot to go on and a lot to see in that show that I very much want to. I can easily binge a show that is hour-long episodes with multiple like 15 plus episodes, like Breaking Bad did in later episodes, or like Better Call Saul. I was very much easy to do that because I was interested in the show.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm not interested in the show, they become too much of a slog, and I start playing games or doing other things that I'm not paying attention like I should. So 30-minute episodes are fantastic. But Austin, anyways, throw that aside. We'll talk about that some other time in our life. But yeah, next week, Austin, we're watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, the Netflix series. For good or ill, we'll figure it out.
We'll see.
We'll see. Yeah, I've heard good, I've heard bad. I mostly hope bad. I'm going to go into it completely open. Try
Same.
at least.
Same. We're gonna try.
And
we're gonna try.
So, Austin, thanks so much for joining me on this episode of Bros and Shows. Thank you for selecting Cuphead. It was a great show. And until then, thank you, Austin. And to everyone out there, thank you all so much for stopping by.